All right, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to How to Set Smarter Goals. I will tell you just quickly about me. Hopefully you're going to love the course and you're going to come back and join us. So my name's Andrea Parry. I'm from the UK. I'm from Manchester. So hopefully you're going to be able to understand my voice. If at any point I'm going too quickly for you or you don't understand me, then please just tell me and I'll slow down or repeat it. Okay, that's not a problem at all. I've been here I actually live in Dubai, and I've been here now for 22 years. I would say I was born here, but I don't think you're going to believe me. So yeah, I've been here 22 years. I used to work for Emirates Airline, which is where I started my training. So I've been training for 17 years altogether. I first got my train certificate, and SMART goals are something that I've been working with for many, many years now and training in different sessions. I've been with Select for almost 6 years, and this is a popular topic. It's a very good topic, and what we talk about today, we can actually look at in our professional and our personal lives as well. Okay, so I'm guessing some of you do already have a little bit of knowledge about this. You might have heard of SMART rather than SMARTer. So as time goes on, as we evolve and we develop, the SMART goals have also done that. So we've added 2 more letters on the end. Okay, so if you are not familiar with Zoom, we just ask, please, like I say, put your video on so I can see you if you're comfortable. If not, don't worry. But I would like you to actually talk to us in the chat. Okay, you can mute yourself, or I will mute you if there's too much background noise. Please put your phones on silent. It is only 45 minutes. If you do need to take a phone call, by all means, please do, and go and take that in private. Okay. So you can put us in full screen by using the gallery view also up at the top. So let's have a look what we're going to talk about over the next 45 minutes. Only 3 objectives. We're going to look at how to set relevant and measurable goals that matter. So when we say what matter, it matters to you, and we're also going to look at how it can affect your organization as well, and how they have an effect on your goals. We're going to look at how to communicate your goals effectively to people so that we make sure they're met. And finally, learn how to stick to your plans. We need to monitor and evaluate what is actually going on with our goals. And if we don't do that, then they're not going to work. Okay, so we're going to look at that in more detail. So let me ask you these questions. You can put it in the chat, you can shout it. It's just for you to think about. Do you have clear goals at the moment in your current role or in your life in general? Do you have goals? Now, goals can be small, they can be huge, they can be something for later today, they can be something for in 5-10 years time. Yeah. A goal I have is to see England win the football tonight against Germany. And if anybody enjoying the football, so that's a goal that I have. All right. So next question. Do you set goals for other people? Do you have people working underneath you? And do you help them set their goals? Let's have a look what you're putting in the chat for me. Okay. So Amy, you don't mind if I also call you Amy, do you?
Not at all, please.
Thank you. I'm stealing that name because it's a lot easier for me to say. And my goddaughter's called Amy. All right. So next question then. How confident do you feel about setting goals? Feel A, very. B, interested to see if you can actually do them any better than what you're doing now. Or C, you've no idea. Okay, thank you, Saeed. You can give advice, that's right, but the goal has to originally come from the actual person, doesn't it? You're right, Saeed, thank you. The reason why you're here on this course, you would like to see some ideas of how you can do it. All right, so A or B. Amy, you're A. Maybe I should let you do the training.
No.
If you have any ideas to share them, please do share them with us, yeah? Okay, so the last question here, do you feel your goals and objectives are monitored within your organization? So these are for your professional goals. How does your company work with you? Your bosses, do they work with you? Okay, Yasmin, you get stressed when there's so many goals at the same time. Yes. Now we're going to look at some of the problems that people face and some of the things that people do wrong that could do better. Okay, and we're going to look at that point. So hopefully that might help you in a little while. All right. So yes, we've got lots of yeses, some A's there. So that's good because your company should be wanting to work with you, because if your goals are met, that means the organization's goals are going to be met. Okay, so Mohammed, do you also get confused and focused when there's too many goals? Okay, all right, we'll try and fix that. So let me ask you the question now, why do we need to set goals? Shout out your answers to me or put them in the chat, but why is it so important? Remember, they can be a small goal, they can be a huge goal, but why do we need to set them? Shout out some answers to me or put them in the chat.
I think it's better to be clear from the beginning, to like have an objective and be able to reach it.
Thank you, Yasmin. Yes, an objective and to be able to reach it. So we're going to look at that, how we know when we've got there. Yeah, to have a direction, Anna. Thank you. To focus your efforts. Excellent. Anything else? Thank you for sharing your ideas. Keep them coming. Saeed, to focus and have persistence to achieve our objectives. Persistence, I like that. Yeah, it's like resilience. If it doesn't work at the beginning, pick yourself up and do it again. But make sure you actually achieve your objectives. We get there in the end. Okay, so I'm going to give you some help and advice on that. I like this little saying here now. If you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? Think about when you're traveling somewhere. You're looking on Google Maps even. Yeah, if you don't know where you're going, you don't know where the end is, how do you know when you've got there? So it's the same with your goals. How do you know you've achieved it if you haven't written it down? Faisal, to focus on your achievement and targets. Thank you very much. Amy, to increase your success rate of achieving achievements in your goal. Thank you. Thank you everyone for sharing. So let's have a look at some of these. So they'll make a difference because they focus on what's important. So maybe some of the goals, when you've got too many, maybe some of them aren't that important. So we focus on the main ones. We focus on what is important. A shared understanding. So this is where when you communicate to other people, they can help you. We're going to look at resources in a little while. Common language. Increase likelihood to results achieved. Expectations, your expectations are clear. For me, I like to write things down. I'm quite old-fashioned. I like pen and paper. And by writing things down, it's like having a list. Then you see it and then it becomes real. You can clarify how things are done because we're going to look at measuring. So we're going to look at how and why we actually do things. Measuring the progress is so important. You have to keep measuring it, and I'm going to keep saying that, okay? And supports consistency. It could be an ongoing goal, something that you're wanting to work towards. And having support, it helps you to be consistent in your job, in your life, in your personal life, as well as work. Okay. So what are the pitfalls? A pitfall is something that people do wrong. What are some of the things that people do wrong, do you think, when setting their goals? Put it in the chat or shout out to me.
Over expectations.
over expectations. Thank you, Yasmin. Can you give me an example?
Maybe like thinking you can do it in a few days when it takes more than that.
Okay, very good. I'm going to look at that. We're going to look at how we change the time frame. So you might think, yeah, you know what, I can get this done in an hour, and it's actually going to take you 2. Could be I can get this done in a year, but it's going to take me 2 years. Yeah, thank you, Yasmin. Aiming too high, Saeed. Again, can you do it? Is it realistic? So Amy, unclear and not well defined. So this is where the S comes in. I'm not going to give anything away yet, but the S is so important at the very beginning. So these are reasons why people fail sometimes, because they're common pitfalls, common mistakes that people make when setting their goals. So here's some example, too many. Okay, so we said that earlier. Don't have too many goals, because then you're going to get confused. Then you're going to need a whole other course of planning and organizing. So limit how many you have, especially the big ones. So 2 to 5, start off small and work up big. Okay, so we're going to give some more examples of that. Accountability. Now, who said that before? Somebody said, that the goals you can help and you can advise, but they have to be yours. You have to write them. You have to be accountable for your goals. Can't blame anybody else when it didn't work. Okay, so you have to be accountable. If you need help, then make sure that person is also accountable for you. It could be just in motivation. It could be if you want to lose weight. So maybe you have a personal trainer, maybe you've got a friend who keeps pushing you and pushing you. They're also accountable for you, but at the end of the day, it's mainly you. Saeed, you put strict time schedules, unable to adhere. Very good. The time schedule again is important. It can change, but we have to put it in at the beginning. Unclear expected results. So again, it's not clear. What do you want? If you don't know where you're going, how do you know when you get there? Okay. And lack of resources to complete the goals. So let me ask you, what are some of the resources that we have to help us make sure our goals are achieved? Shout out or put it in the chat to me. Tell me some resources that can help. Remember, a resource doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be a tangible thing that you can touch, like pen and paper. It can be something different. So give me examples. Mohammed, having the talent. Very good. So make sure you have the skills, you have the knowledge, you have the talent. Paz, thank you. Your managers, your supervisors, especially if they have goals that are going to help you with your work and your professional life. Time. Thank you, Mohammed. Okay, break your goal into bits and set deadlines to complete. Very good, Amy. Thank you. So you don't have to do it all at once. It might take time. For me, I want to declutter my house. That is a goal I've been having for a long time. I'm not going to do it all in one day. So break it down. Maybe a wardrobe at a time, maybe a drawer at a time. An Excel sheet. Thank you, Yasmin. Excel's great, isn't it? Little boxes, it's all clear, it's all in the table. Anything else? What about you personally? Do we have any resources inside us to help us to achieve our goals? Utilize your calendar. Very good. Now, me and technology don't go well together, as some people will tell you. Having a calendar on your phone, having something on your laptop, your computer, an iPad, whatever you may use, having something like that will push you. Okay, and if you know how to use them, fantastic, because they're really good tools. Thank you. Motivation. This is what I'm thinking. Loving what you do. Planning, motivation. Motivation is huge, honestly. You have to want to do something. Okay. You have to want to do it, otherwise it's not going to get achieved. Stay away from distractions. Saeed, can you give me an example of a distraction that you need to stay away from?
Distractions can be like internet, we have WhatsApp, we have Facebook, we have social media. So these things are basically the major distraction.
Thank you, Yasmin. Social media, Netflix. Oh, I'll just watch one more episode. And before you know it, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. You want to lose weight. That's your main goal. You want to lose weight. Stay away from the chocolate biscuits. Yes, so distractions. Something that is going to put a barrier up to stop you achieving your goal. So once you know what they are, you can then step away from them. Thank you very much, everybody. Lots of fantastic comments. Okay, so this little slide here is telling us that if we, as a person, as well as an organization, but looking at your organizations now, if somebody is helping you and monitoring you, it's a lot more likely that you're going to succeed. So if you look at this score, no goal revisions, nobody's helping you, you're not even really setting them. You're not really going to succeed. Once per year compared to doing it monthly, it goes up the improvement in performance. That's what this is. The improvement is 50%. Try and help your colleagues. Maybe it's your family members, so we can relate this to personal goals as well. If you have somebody who's helping you, somebody who's motivating you to do well, keeping pushing you, taking you to the gym or taking the biscuits away from you, you've got a 50% improvement in your performance, which means a 50% improvement in the chance that you're going to succeed in actually getting those goals achieved. So you need people to be helping, you need people to be monitoring. Okay, Mohammed, it's not necessarily resetting them, Mohammed. Or see what I did. Yes. So what we're going to look at when we look at the M is so important in Smarter. We have to keep reviewing. If you have set a goal, so say you've had like a 6-month review with your manager and you've set your goals, instead of waiting for your next 6-month review or your yearly review, if your manager then says, Mohammed, how are you doing? How are you doing on your goal? Do you need any extra help? Do you need any assistance? Are you getting on okay? That's all we need. We just need you to check and whoever is monitoring you to check. And that's what Saeed said there. It's just basically monitor. Monitor what's going on in your goal. So remember, if you've got too many, it's going to get too confusing, even with an Excel spreadsheet. So don't have too many so you can focus. All right. So a couple of little sayings here, which I like as well. Employees need to have the ability and freedom to go and to do a task, but with accountability to get it done. What does that mean? What does that little saying mean there? In relation to what not happening? Anybody? Have a go. It doesn't matter if you want, just have a go. Anna, thank you. They should have the resources. Amy, freedom to use your thought process to achieve a goal. Very nice. It's basically, it's being left on your own to do it. It's your managers allowing you the freedom to go ahead and do it. To have the resources and for you to take accountability, which means if it doesn't work, you're going to change it. So if that particular resource doesn't work for you, you'll change it, but you've got the freedom to be able to do that. With freedom becomes responsibility. Good, but somebody also needs to be monitoring that as well. Okay, who just said that? Someone should monitor them. Anna, yes, somebody should always be monitoring them. Remember, we said 50% chance of improvement if somebody does monitor you. Let me just check the chat here. Not being forced to do it in a specific way, but in your own way. Thank you, Yasmin. Yeah. Somebody may be able to help you and give you an idea of how to do it. And they may say, you know what, I did this. Again, going back to losing weight, because it's an easy one to relate to. Somebody might tell you, well, I did this and I did so many minutes of exercise a day. I didn't eat this, or I ate this. So you can give ideas, but you will still do it in your own way. So ask for help, ask for advice. Required accountability with full responsibility. Yes, so you are, remember, keep saying this, you are responsible for your goals. Other people are responsible to help you and to monitor, but we need you to be responsible as well. But also, remember the question at the beginning that we asked, are you responsible for setting goals for other people? So if you are, remember this little saying here. Give them the freedom to go out and try it themselves. Monitor them, keep an eye on them, make sure they're on track, but let them do it in their own way. Don't push. When you push somebody to do something, they don't want to do it. I know I'm like that. Yeah, so give people the freedom to do it in their own way. All right. Any questions so far? How's everybody doing? All okay? Any questions, any comments?
Yes, I would like to ask, can you hear me? Sorry.
I can. Who am I speaking to?
This is Anna.
Okay, Anna.
On the top of the pyramid, there was something up to date. What was that regarding?
Let me go back. Frequent and up to date. Okay, so your goals.
Yes.
So goals have got to be timely, transparent, and ambitious. We like that word, ambitious. So do them frequently and keep them up to date. That's basically all that means. Keep your goals up to date. So don't forget about them. So keep checking on them. Yeah, and ambitious there. So we said ambitious stretch, but within your reach, something that you can actually do. So this frequent and up to date is the timely bit.
Okay, got it.
That
Thank
answered your
you.
question, Annie, yeah?
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
All right, fabulous. Any other questions? I got a thumbs up from Yasmin, you're okay. Okay, Saeed, hold that question for me. What to do if you're not able to meet deadlines? We are going to look at that, okay? And it comes within the E and the R. So hold that thought, but we're coming to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what does SMARTER actually stand for? What does the S stand for? And we're going to go through them in each letter in detail. So what does the S stand for? Put it in the chat or shout out to me. Specific. Thank you, Amy. All right. So S is specific. All right, so we'll go through each of the letters and then we're going to go through each of them in more detail. What about the M? The M is really important. Measurable. Thank you, Amy. Mohammed, you do have to be motivated, so don't ever forget that. Yeah, but when the SMARTER acronym, the M means measurable. So A, Faisal, accurate. They do have to be accurate, but what's the A stand for in SMART? Attainable. Attainable or achievable? Yeah, either or. They mean the same thing. So do you have the necessary skills and resources to make it achievable? It should always be yes. The answer to this question should always be yes. If it's not, you need to change. Okay. What about the R? Relevant. Thank you, Amy. There's another R that we can use as well. Having the resources, Hanaine, thank you. Realistic, Amy and Paz. Now, it does have to be relevant. The R can be a couple of different different words, relevant and realistic. So again, the realistic and the achievable go together. Yes, it has to be realistic. Okay. Now, for me, my goal was always to retire at 30, live on a yacht and wear my pink Manola Blahniks, gentlemen their shoes. And for those of you who know me, I always bring shoes into my training. Now that was not realistic. It was not achievable. Didn't even happen at 40, didn't happen at 50. All right, so your goal has to be realistic. Now, when we look at the R, it's also rewarding. So we'll look at that in more detail when we come to the R in detail, but it's also rewarding. T, oh, I gave it away. Thank you, Hussein. Thank you, Syed. Timeless. So what's the time frame of achieving your goal? Okay, now we've got 2 extra letters that some of you may or may not have heard. What does the E stand for? Anybody know? Have a guess. What do you think when it comes to goals? What do we need to do to make sure we're on track? What do you think the E might stand for? Thank you, Pav. Amy, evaluate. Okay, so what we need to do now, people who thought up SMART goals thought, you know what, we need to do a little bit more to make sure we're achieving our goals. So we need to evaluate to make sure that we're on track. And then the R. What does the last letter stand for? The results. Thank you, Hussein. Review. Amy, thank you. So we've got revolt, revise, review. So, Syed, in relation to your question earlier, and we're going to again look in more detail, we need to review what's going on. If it's not working, we need to revise. It's like a plan B. Okay, so evaluate and review are the 2 letters that have been added. So let's have a look at each of them in detail. So specific goal. If you are, the more specific you are, now, if you would like to get a pen and paper, if you have one at the side of you, you can be doing your own SMART goal here now. It is so quick, it's so easy, and I'll prove to you that you can actually do it. So if we look here, a general goal, implement a performance management system. It's a goal, it's something we need to work towards. However, being more specific means we can look at it into more detail and we have a much higher chance of achieving the goal. So if we look at how the specific goal is, implement online performance management system that is accessible across multiple devices and cascade goals and track the progress of completion. So it's a lot more detail when we're specific. Okay. If you want to lose weight, we can say, I just want to lose weight. Don't we all? The COVID stone. All right, the Dubai stone was bad enough, but now we've got the COVID stone in weight. So if you're specific and saying, I want to lose 5 kilograms, you've got a much better way of measuring it. So when we're looking at specific goals, we need to ask ourselves these questions. So write these down. Don't forget about these. Who is going to be involved? Is it just you? Remember, personal, professional goals. What do you want to accomplish and where? Identify that location. When? So even though the time frame is still within our T at the end, the more you put into your specific goal, the more information you have. What requirements, what constraints might there be? And why do I want to do it? What is the reason for me doing this? If you can put that in your specific, you've got a much better chance of achieving it because you've got more detail. Okay. A lot of people, when I do this course, want to buy some land. They want to build a house. So when you're specific, think about the location. Where do you want your house? What do you want to accomplish? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? How many en-suites? Do you want land with it? Do you want a garden? Do you want a swing? Do you want a kitchen? Obviously, what a kitchen. How big do you want your kitchen to be? What are the requirements? Maybe your plot of land will only allow you to have a house so big. Maybe there's some constraints that will stop you achieving it. So your specific will really help you to set that goal. So if you're writing down now, please write down your specific goal. Remember, it can be something even for tomorrow. Okay. Then we're going to look at measurable. Measurable is really, really important. So we need to have a criteria to help us measure our progress. It's monitoring the progress. How do we know when we're getting there? The reason to measure helps you stay on track. It helps you reach your target dates. So for example, with losing weight, if you want to lose 2 pounds a week, but you only lose 1 pound this week, your target date needs to be changed. So you need to measure. Okay. If you are buying a house, if you're building a house, how are you going to measure it? Measuring is basically like a tick box. Do I have the money? Do I have the land? Do I have the deeds for the land? Do I have builders? Do I have a distributor of windows? They're your measurements. Okay. For me, another easy one that I like to give as an example is going on holiday. Now, wouldn't we all love to go on holiday at the moment? So if we want to go on holiday, we need to be specific. So I would like to go to New York at Christmas because I want to see some snow and because I want to go on the ice rink and see the perfect Christmas tree that they have there. And I want to do it by, I think this year's being, maybe not. So let's say December 2022. How do I measure? How do I know that I'm on track for getting there? Do I need a passport? Yes, tick. Do I have a visa? Got it, tick. Have I booked my flight? Tick. Have I booked my accommodation? Tick. Do I have spending money? Tick. Do I have the right clothes? Tick. So that's a very easy example to understand because it's just basically a tick box. Okay. How much will it cost you? How many? How many people? How many resources? How many challenges do I face? How will I know when it's accomplished? So for me going on holiday, if I've got all those tick boxes, all I have to do is wait for the date. The challenges, the restrictions I might face might be COVID restrictions. Now with that as well, we have to think extra. There's many more things in place because of COVID. So they may affect your goals, personal and professional. Okay. So achievable, attainable. Having a checklist. Mohammed, yes, thank you. It is a checklist. By saying it's achievable, if it's really important to you, so you already said to me earlier about having a passion. We have to have a passion for our goals. We have to be motivated to achieve our goals. Even if we come up against obstacles, we will always find a way to do it because it's important to us. That's what this means here. We will maybe find new skills. We've got training. Come to us at Select. We've got loads of courses to help with your goals. Your attitude may change. Your abilities, money. How much money do you need? Maybe it doesn't cost a lot of money. Losing weight doesn't have to. If you've got stairs in your house or your apartment block, use the stairs rather than the lift. It's very hot at the moment, so we're not really going out as much as we used to because of the weather. We need AC, but there's still things that we can do at home. You can use, you know, an empty water bottle or a full water bottle as your weights. So we will find things because we will find a way to make that dream, basically your goal, come true. Okay. Are there any questions so far? How are we all doing? You've all gone quiet. Does anybody have any examples? Does anybody want to share with me a goal that they're actually typing up now? Okay, Mohammed, how to deal with many goals. You need to write them down for one. Okay, don't have too many. Different time frames. Maybe there are some in the same time frame. But try and have them, maybe they overlap. So maybe you've got to 1 milestone, then you want another goal. But don't have too many. That's why we say don't have too many. In a year, 2 to 5 maximum. There may be some within the same time frame. You then have to manage your time more effectively. Come on, time management course. You can achieve any goal if you set your mind to it, basically. That's what this is saying. Set your mind to it, but make sure it's realistic. Okay. So something that you think, oh, I can't do that. Have a go. Why not? Because once you start doing something, time management, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Mohammed. Remember, it's got to be realistic. So make sure it's realistic. Make sure you have the resources. Accept the challenge. Thank you, Amy. I like, just go for it. Why not? If it doesn't work, change it. We've got the E and the R now, so we can always change them. Okay. I know for me, when I push myself and I do something that I didn't think I could do, I feel really, really good when I've done it. It's like, yes, I've done that. I didn't think I could, but I have. But I have to be willing to do it. Again, you have to want to do it. Okay, so a very good goal, but a bad example is smoking. If any of you smoke, now I've got friends who used to, and they gave up. But a couple of them tried and couldn't do it because they didn't want to. So you have to actually want to do it. So your goal has to be realistic. If it doesn't work, you will learn from the experience. Amy, that's a nice way of thinking about it, isn't it? Okay, you know what? Didn't work this time. Be resilient. Why not use the R as a resilient as well? Pick yourself up, change it, but go for something different. Go for something that you can do, because that might be then when you thought, you know what, yeah, I pushed myself a little bit too much. So start off slow. Don't start off saying, I want to lose 10 kilograms in 2 weeks. That's not going to work. Okay. I want to lose 10 kilograms in 6 months. It's more realistic, which makes it more achievable. So they all link together. Now, with the R, remember I said also that the R can be rewarding. What are you getting out of it? So with the house, if you wanted a house, what are the rewards you're going to get out of that? Will be, you own your own home. Your family can all live there together. My holiday to New York, I get to go to a new destination. I get to do something I've never done before. Roller skating around the Christmas tree. Or ice skating around the Christmas tree. So what are the rewards? If you lose weight, you'll feel better. You'll feel healthier. You can fit in those clothes that you could never fit into. So for the R, as well as being realistic, it's also rewarding. So what are the R's that you're going to get out of it? Okay. So ask yourself 3 very simple questions. Do I believe it? Do I have the passion? Do I have the motivation? Do I believe this can actually happen? Okay, there's a book called The Secret that I read many years ago, and you have to focus on it and you have to believe that this can happen. Actually picture it. So picture yourself at the end doing whatever it is that your goal is, or being that weight that you wanted to be, or ice skating in Central Park. Okay. Have you done anything like this in the past? Yes. Did I like it? Yes. Did it work? Yes. Can I do it better? Yes. Then go and have a go at it. Like Amy says, if it doesn't work, you're going to learn from it. If you haven't done anything in the past similar, have it as a new goal, something different, something you've never done before. And when you've done it, it'll be like, yes, look what I've done. Okay. Conditions and resources. Do I have the resources that would help me? If it's an Excel sheet, then yeah. If it's motivation, yeah. If it's friends, if it's my managers, my line managers, supervisors, what do I have that will help me? If I have them, if they're yeses, then it's realistic and I can do it. Okay. So time. Okay. Don't just say, oh, I'll do it next week. I'll do it within a month. No, put a specific date on there, a specific year. Put it on your calendar, like D-Day. Yeah, final day, this is when I want to fit into that dress. This is when I want to be on that plane going on holiday. This is when I want to be moving into my house. Your mind works in different ways. You have subconscious, unconscious, subconscious and conscious mind. If you know it's in the back of your head, you'll do it. And trust me, you will. You might leave things to the last minute, like I do all the time, but I will still always get that goal finished because I want to. That's the main thing, because I want to do it. Okay. So always have the time. Now evaluate. We have to evaluate our goals. Basically, because what it says there, we need to know, are we on track or not? Now, somebody said, was it Amy, did you say before about breaking them up into smaller milestones? So instead with the losing weight, I want to lose 10 kilograms in 6 months. What do I want to lose in a month? What do I want to lose within 2 months? So if we do it that way, we're reaching our milestones quicker. Thank you, Amy, it was you, yeah? Because then it's another tick, isn't it? Think about the measuring. It's another tick. Rather than waiting 6 months, do it monthly. And that's what we said earlier. You have a 50% higher chance of it actually working than if you didn't do that. So smaller, doing your house, 1 cupboard at a time, 1 kilogram at a time. It's also achieving small but motivating. Yeah, for me, I love tick boxes. I write lists and I write everything down when I write my list. Doesn't matter how small it is. And every time I've ticked one off, it's like, yes, I've done it. So you get more ticks, so you get more satisfaction. All right. So, Saeed, this is for you. We need to revise. If it doesn't work, we need to change those goalposts. We need to change the time. Don't stress about it. If you haven't done it, explain why, ask for help. Get more resources. See how they're all linking? Get more resources and just revise your goal. It's a plan B. Can anybody give me an example of a plan B? Maybe you've done it before. Maybe it's happened to you. What's an example of a plan B? Come on, ladies and gentlemen, speak to me. You've gone all quiet. Anybody? Somebody give me an example of a plan B. What do we need a plan B for? Okay, if you fail to wake up and jog in the morning, do it in the evening. Okay, so changing the time, but changing the time of day of doing something. Yeah, planning and organizing comes into you, planning your smarter goals. Maybe that time doesn't work for you. So you have to revise it and think, you know what, let me try a different way. I'll do it in the evening now instead of the morning. That might work for you. Any other examples of a plan B? Come on, ladies and gentlemen, speak to me, then you can go home.
For example, if you want to work out and you're not motivated to go by yourself, like you don't stick to the goal of going by yourself, go with a friend or your sister.
Yeah, thank you. Got there, Mohammed. I'll come to you in a second, Mohammed. Yeah, so it could be that, you know what, I can't do this on my own. I need help. For me, with the losing weight, I definitely need help. Yeah, I actually need somebody to come, give them a key to my house, come in, get me out of bed and take me because I'm really bad. So if it doesn't work for you on your own, plan B, I'm going to get help. A friend, a sister, family member, whoever it may be. Thank you for that. And another approach, another idea. Yeah. Okay, with COVID restrictions, maybe I'm not going to be able to get there next year, and it could be the year after. So just revise, maybe I can't go to the States at all. I need to change it and go somewhere else. Might go to Germany instead. So anything can be a plan B.
You want me to give an example about plan B?
You can do, Mohammed, please.
Yeah, in my work, I was actually I had a target for recruitment. I'm a pharmacist, and I need to recruit X number of patients into a trial. And actually, we had to open X number of sites to achieve our goal to recruit this X number of patients. And after that, but actually not all the sites were open. So we had another approach for increasing the number of recruitment for the open number of sites. So if half number is recruiting more patients, we can reach our target at the end.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you for sharing. It's another way of doing things, isn't it? If this doesn't work, let's change it. And that's why the E and the R has now become official in smarter goals, because we need to evaluate and we need to revise. Staycations instead of travel, definitely, Amy. Yeah, if any of you live in Dubai, I went recently to the Riu Hotel, the new one, in Deira, and it was lovely. It was very nice, very reasonable as well. So yeah, that's an excellent idea of a plan B. Thank you, Amy. All right, so I like this little formula, very simple. Again, write this down. I'm going to do something, specific action, in order to whatever I'm going to accomplish. I'm going to do it by, and my first milestone will be on. Very simple. Yeah. So I'm going to lose 10 kilograms in 6 months in order to feel better, to get healthier. I'm going to do it in 6 months. My first milestone will be in 1 month. Very, very simple. So you can write that down and use that little formula, and it will help you, I promise. All right. So this is just a little bit here, just saying that really, because of COVID, everything comes down to that, doesn't it, at the moment? We've had to change a lot. So because of that, some of your goals may have been changed. Some of your goals at work, and definitely some of your personal goals. So that's what we're just saying about this now. Okay. Excuse me. So think about the different goals in your company, but think about it for yourself. as well. I think this last year has taught us a lot. It's taught us that we can do things we didn't think we could do. We can do a lot more from home. Who would have believed we'd ever be doing this 18 months ago? Doing training at home, in your slippers. Yeah, doing training on Zoom. Who would have believed it? So we can change. Yeah, we are more adaptable than we think. So use our adaptability to get there. Yeah. So this is just an example of how different goals can look. The organizational visions, this is what they want overall. Customer service experience, they want to deliver it to be superior, better than anybody else. The organizational goal, a little bit more specific, so they want to increase rates by 10% every year. And they want to reduce the number of dissatisfied customers by 10% each quarter. So this is more specific. It's giving you an amount and it's giving you a time. Each department then ensures 85% of all customer complaints resolved within 14 days. So this again is more specific. The overall vision is broader, but the individual ones are a lot more specific and they help people focus more on the end goal. So for the team member, log 100% of customer complaints within 24 hours. Acknowledge 90% of those complaints within 48. So that's quite a high target. That's a lot of work, right? We're hoping there's not many complaints because here we want to reduce that. So just by having a more specific goal, and is it realistic? Yes. Is it achievable? Yes. They've got the time in there. Okay. And the results, you'll be delivering superior customer service. All right. A couple more slides. Consider these. Again, professional and personal. Is it for business? Is it relevant? Is it manageable? Is the number of goals manageable? Saeed, I know this one's important to you, and Mohammed, about how many goals you have. Don't have too many. Just start small and focus on that. Don't have too many at one time because then you're not going to be able to manage them. Okay. Smarter. It can be anything. You've seen how easy it is. Just write down the acronym, write down SMARTER, and at the side, just write down what it is. It's so easy. They can be done on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, yearly. It can even be a 10-year SMARTER goal. Okay. Track and measure. So look at the ones, look at the words that we've put in bold. Visible. I would advise you to visualize what it is at the end. I'd advise you to visualize where you are, the house, how does it look? Let's say the way you're looking great in that outfit. So we've got a couple of tips. All right. I'll let you read the tips. Okay. So basically your current capability, you have to be able to do it yourself. Thank you, Mohammed. You must have the tools and resources. If you don't, thank you, Mohammed. Mohammed, please contact Raj. There is a poll, but unfortunately you're going to be leaving. But just if you can pass some feedback to Mohammed, that would be great. And I hope to see you soon. So make sure you've got tools and resources, expectations. Don't have them too high, have them realistic, reasonable, help. So if you are helping setting other people's goals, guide them, coach them. But if you're doing your own, ask others for guidance and ask for coaching if you need it. Regular meetings, feedback is so important to make sure you're actually achieving your goals. monthly, minimum monthly. Get somebody in and just ask, even if it's a personal goal, just ask your friend, ask your sister Anna, how am I doing? Am I getting on okay? Yeah. All right. So we do have a poll. I'm going to stop my share. We've got a couple of people who joined us. I'm sorry if I didn't say hello. I was looking at the chat and sharing the PowerPoint. So we've got Bakinam and Subi. Welcome to both of you. Okay, Saeed, can we review weekly also? Of course you can. And Saeed, you've got to think about what is the time frame of your goal. If your goal is maybe for 6 months, check it monthly. If your goal is for 12 months, again, check it monthly. However, you may have a goal that's to be done in a week. Check it daily. Make sure you're on track. Yeah, for me, an example of this, for me, you know, if I have a course to do, I've got training next week. So I've got 1 week. My goal is to prepare PowerPoint, to prepare manual, to prepare my timetable. I'm not going to leave it till the last minute. I'm going to make sure every day I do a little bit. So it depends on the time, what your time is. So just make sure that the monitoring is just making sure that you don't leave it too late. Okay, does that answer your question, Saeed? You're very welcome. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any more questions? Before you do leave us, I would like you to do the poll. But before we do that, do you have any questions? Is there anything else you want to know? It was only literally 45 minutes. Anna?
Yeah, could you please go back to the goal formula slide? There was something I had a question about.
Which one? Can you remember?
The goal formula slide.
The goal formula. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should have done this the other way, shouldn't I? Again, it's me and technology. We don't go well together. This one.
Yes, this is the one.
Okay.
So for the milestone part, how do we go about formulating the milestone?
Okay, so your milestone, remember the measures. So the measurable is your tick box. So for example, with losing weight, check on a monthly basis. All right. Or you could, I've actually started doing something now. And I got the tape measure out and I've got the scales out. And I'm actually going to weigh myself and measure myself every 5 days. My first milestone would be for losing the weight. That's an example. So I've got a little video. I'm going to launch the poll and I'm going to show this video and that might help you, Anna. But basically this one, an easy way of explaining this. So I want to lose 10 kilograms in 6 months in order to look good, to feel better, to be healthier, to fit in that fabulous dress. So 6 months, my first milestone will be in 1 month. So the milestone will be, have I lost the weight that I was meant to lose in the first month? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Now that's just an example for weight. It could be, you know, if you want to get a promotion, so you're doing more courses or you're doing an exam, you're doing online learning. Your first milestone will be check-in after months. So say you have 4, what are they called? What's the word I'm thinking of? Oh my goodness, my mind's gone blank. Not like a dissertation, but like a report to fill in. So you're doing training for this course. You're going to get a certificate at the end of it. And it's going to last 8 months. You've got 4 different reports to do to work towards that final certificate. So you've got 8 months, 4 reports, 2 months for 1 report. So if you set your goal as 4 reports in 8 months, 1 report in 2 months, your first milestone is in 2 months. You finish report, tick, yes. If you come to that first milestone, so your first milestone is in 2 months, and you haven't finished that report, you then need to evaluate and you need to revise your goal. Because you've still only got 8 months, you've still got 4 reports, you've got your first milestone, which is 2 months, and you haven't done it. So now you've got 2 reports to do by the next milestone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so basically it's like a breakdown of the main goal into smaller goals.
Smaller goals, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
if you haven't reached that milestone,
Mm-hmm.
you then have to revise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not working. And maybe you get the example of asking your sister for help with the keeping fit and running. Yeah, so if it's working on your own, you know what? I've come to my first milestone. I haven't lost any weight. I don't feel any fitter. I need to change it. So I've got to that. I'm going to revise my goal. I'm going to get my sister with me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. Thank you.